supplies that you need will be back here. So you're going to need your mannequin, of course. Then you're going to need a placemat for your group. You're going to need some terracotta clay. You can just grab a small bunch of this. You might not use all of it. Then you're going to need a small bunch of yellow clay. For this one, you really won't need a ton, so just break off a little bit. Then you're going to need one of these kits that's going to have your clay tools for your group. The main one you're going to use today is this wire tool, but you can just take the whole box. Then you're going to pick a color for your iris. So you can pick blue or green or brown, and then you'll need like a sequin or a googly eye for the pupil. The first thing you're going to need is a piece of terracotta clay that's about this big, kind of the size of a small jawbreaker. So the thing you need to know about this clay is that it's oil-based, and that's why we have these placemats, so you don't do on the table and you don't get oil-based clay on the table. If you do, there are Lysol wipes that you can use to clean it off. Also, just try to avoid getting it on your clothes. It'll come out, but it might come out, but just try to avoid it. Also, wash your hands or use a Lysol wipe afterwards on your hands to get it off. So the first thing that we're going to build is the temporalis muscle. So where should this go on our mannequin? We always think about our temple. So here is our temple on our mannequin. So this muscle attaches above the ear here, and then it attaches down here at the mandible, and then it spans out across this whole temporalis bone, this temporal bone of the skull right here. So what you're going to do with your clay is you're going to flatten it out. And you're going to kind of make it into a fan shape. So at the top here, and then you want it to kind of come down to like a little apostrophe type shape at the bottom. Okay, then you're going to try to fit it to this. So, like I said, it should go behind the ear and attach like that. And then it's going to go right along the edge of the temporal bone. And then you might have to like rip some of the clay off. And then it's going to go kind of underneath the zygomatic bone, like so. Okay, so that's kind of what that should look like. Hopefully you can do a better job than me. So that's the temporalis muscle. Now, when we build muscles on our mannequin, the one thing we need to keep in mind too is that these muscles have striations. So striations indicate that it's a skeletal muscle, as you've learned in this activity. So skeletal muscles have striations because that's the direction in which the muscles move. So you're going to use this wire tool and you're going to draw the striations on the muscle. So with this one, it helps you to move your jaw up and down and move it around. So you're going to draw these kind of in like a fanned out motion, like this. Like that. Okay, so then you can also see an image on the computer now of what this should look like as well. Now, you're going to take a small piece, about the size of a raisin, of yellow clay, and you're going to stick this underneath of the zygomatic process here, and it's right in the buccal area. So it's forming the fat pad of the cheek right here. And so why is it important to have fat in our cheek? Well, one, protection for our mouth, but also that if we're thinking about this from the standpoint of identity, if we didn't have fat in our cheeks right here, our skin would sink in and we would be able to see this open area right here, and we would look very sunken in. So if you think of people that are very, very thin, or as they get older and fat starts to degrade in some places in the body, a lot of times their faces will look sunken in because they don't have this here. Also, people that don't have dentures, when they take them out, doesn't give the normal shape of the face. So there's also an image on the slides here now that you can see for what it's supposed to look like as well. Now you're going to get another piece of yellow clay about the size of a raisin. You're going to flatten it on your placemat like that. Then you're going to take your wire tool and you're actually going to cut it in half like so. Okay, so now that you've kind of cut that in half, this is going to be the fat pads of the eye. So if we set our guy up like this, okay, so the fat pad is going to go on the bottom part of the eye here. Sorry, I guess I need to show you. And it's going to go up here on the top half of the eye. Okay, so it should look like something like this. And there's also an image on the screen now that you can see. Now, why do we need fat on our eye? Well, once again, protection. Our eye is very sensitive and delicate, the orbital cavity, and we need that to be able to cushion it so that we don't have damage to the orbital socket and the bones and all of the sensitive tissue that's right there. And I need to pick a color for your eye color, so I picked blue. So remember, this is going to be your iris. So this is what could have been brown, green, blue. I mean, you could make them red if you want, white, but I picked a normal eye color. So remember, this is for your iris. So you're going to take a small piece about the same size you've had before, about a raisin, flatten it into an oval, and then we're going to lay this right on top of the fat pads. Okay, so then this is going to be your iris. Next, you're going to need terracotta clay. We're going to make the eyelid. And they need to be they kind of look like cashews, small pieces like this. And you're going to then put those on top of the fat pads and then on top of the iris that we just made. So these are, like I said, the eyelids. So your eyelids, remember, they go over your eyes at the top and at the bottom a little bit. So this is what it would look like next. There's also an image on your screen. Next, you need to make a Oreo-shaped piece of clay. It's not going to be as small as an Oreo, but you're going to make it look like this, flatten it out, and then this is going to go on top of what you have already made. So you should be able to see a little bit of the eyelids underneath, and you're just going to flatten that down. So then this is going to represent the orbicularis oculi muscle that you drew on your graphic organizer. So how this one works is this is going to help your eye move. So it's going to allow your eye to go up and down and look sideways and around. So you need to put some striations on this too. So we're going to kind of draw this, and then so I'm going to draw striations kind of going around in a circular pattern like that. And so that's going to indicate that your this muscle is going to help your eye move in all directions. Next, you're going to need a piece that's flat and kind of oval like this. And we're going to now make the orbicularis oris. So you're going to lay this like flat over the mouth like this. And I like to let it hang over the edge because then you can kind of you can kind of measure exactly where it needs to be, and then you can cut it off like that. Okay, so now you're going to kind of put an indent right in the middle for where the mouth would be. And then these are called the kissing muscles, the brachialis oris. And so help you kiss, help you move your mouth around, right? And to talk and things like that as well. But then you're going to do some striations like this. Okay, because it helps you move your mouth to talk in all different directions. One other fun thing that we do is we create a Instagram page for your mannequin, and then we use that throughout the year to kind of show what we've learned. And every time we build on your mannequin, we create an Instagram post, and you can create one or multiple. And these were the some of the girls I had several years ago that just really got into it and had a lot of fun with it. So you'll create an Instagram handle for your mannequin based on probably their name that you gave them. And then I'd like you to make a post about this. So hopefully this is okay with your parents if you do this. If not, just let me know. But it just is a kind of a fun thing that we do. Make sure to follow me on that account at Mrs. Handline. You can follow me on your personal account too if you want. And I like to post things on there that we do in class as throughout the year. Also, be sure to type your handles here on this link right here so that I know who I'm following and which one is which person. Feel free to take a family photo if you want and post it, but don't feel like you have to. That's just what these girls decided to do. I just thought that would be kind of it's a fun extension and just kind of personifies your mannequin throughout the year. And it's also a place where you can kind of save some memories from this class and the fun that we had.